Welcome to today's Pilates session. So today I'm just going to focus on Pilates to help ease low back pain. So if you're feeling a bit achy or niggly in your lower back, just know that it's not comfortable. There are these exercises, and there's a combination of mobility, kind of stretches, and core engagement to try and ease your back pain and help you kind of feel more comfortable in your lower back. So we're going to start off laying on our back and just doing some stretches and some mobility. So we're going to lay on our back with our feet hip width apart. So feet, knees, hips and shoulders should be in kind of parallel lines all the way up through the body. We're going to make sure the back of the neck's nice and long, so tuck that chin down gently. So imagine you've got a tennis ball in between chin and chest. And snuggle those shoulder blades down underneath the rib cage. And just lift up and lower down onto the mat so that your spine's nice and long. And then from here, we're going to imagine you've got a marshmallow underneath your belly button in between your spine and your mat, and your 2p coin underneath your breastbone between spine and mat. And from there, I'm just going to get you to start by pushing down, squashing that marshmallow, squashing that 2p coin, and then lifting up and away. So you're keeping your bottom and your shoulders in contact, but just as though you could glide your fingers underneath here. So you've got to lift up off that marshmallow 2p coin. So we're going to push down, squashing marshmallow 2p coin, and then lift up and away. And just starting to get a little bit of movement through the spine, and you might feel that one way is a bit stiff or one way is a bit sore. Don't push into that soreness, just go to the edge of it and then coming back. Just gently getting that back moving without any load on it. It's quite nice if you're stiff first thing in the morning in your lower back, just to gently do this in bed, just to try and loosen off through that lower back. Good. Let's do one more in either direction. Squashing down and lifting up. Good. And then from there, you're just going to bring your left knee up and just place your hands around the top of that left knee. And if you're comfortable too, we're going to gently lengthen the right leg out long and just gently hugging that knee in towards your chest, just as far as you feel comfortable going. Hugging in and just gently relaxing the arms away, hugging in and gently relaxing the arms away. One more time on that side. Gently relax that leg back down onto the floor. We're going to bring the other leg up. Bring that right knee in towards your chest using your hands. If you're comfortable too, you can lengthen that left leg away. We're just going to hug knees into chest and gently relax away. Hugging in. Good. Gently relax away. Keep breathing. And then your choice, you can either do single leg hugs again, so just swap sides, lowering that leg down, sliding your left leg in and hugging just the one leg. If you're happy to and you feel it's comfortable enough to do, but I don't want you to do this if it's painful, we're going to then bring that other knee in as well and hug both knees to chest. So just opening up a little bit more through that lower back, support with your hands, just gently hugging in and relaxing off. Just trying to open up through that lower back where it might have got a bit tight and stiff. If you're just doing one leg, that's absolutely fine. Lower that first leg down, and then if you're happy to, bring that other leg up to join. Good. And then if you've got both legs and you feel, again, comfortable too, you can just gently have a little circle of those knees over your chest. And just mobilise through that lower back and then come back, changing direction of those circles. Good. And then we're going to just hug those knees to chest one more time. And then lower one leg to the floor. If the other one's up as well, gently lower that other one to the floor. And then from here, I'm just going to get you to try and focus on your breathing. So what we're going to do is put one hand onto your tummy, one hand onto your chest. And we're just going to focus on taking that breath in and gently allowing that breath to relax away. Good, breath in. And gently allowing that breath to relax away. I want you to think about when you take that breath in that your hand on your tummy is going to move a little bit more than your hand on your chest. So as you breathe in, that hand on the tummy lifts gently, and as you breathe out, that hand on the tummy lowers down towards the mat. Good, and again. They don't need to be big breaths, you don't need to be taking really big breaths, you won't be able to do that for very long, but just a nice gentle breath in as you breathe out, allowing that hand to sink down towards the mat. And as you're taking those breaths, I almost want you to think that as that hand's coming down towards your mat, the back's coming down and just relaxing down into the mat as you breathe out. Breathing in. Good, as you breathe out, allow that hand to come down and the back to come down to sink down towards the mat. Should just help you to relax the muscles in the lower back that, again, if they're a bit tight and stiff, just hopefully get them to relax off. Good. One more nice breath in, thinking about that tummy rising, and as you breathe out, gently falling. Good. And then from there, we're going to bring the feet and knees together. Again, I just want you to go as far as you're comfortable with this one. You can either have your arms by your side or out wide, and we're just going to gently roll both knees across to one side. And if that just means they come a little way across, you're going to keep the shoulders flat, then that's absolutely fine. If you feel you can go a little bit further, then you can come down a little bit further, but just go with what you're comfortable with. Just hold it there for a few breaths. And again, breathing in as you breathe out, allow that belly button to sink down towards the spine. If it's comfortable too, you can allow the knees to just sink down slightly towards the mat. Again, just do it what's comfortable for you. There's no point pushing through anything painful, because it's just going to make your back kind of hold on and protect itself. So just work with what you're comfortable with. Good. And then gently coming back through to the centre. Realign if you need to, and then we're going to go back the other way. Again, so you might be very different one side to the other. So if one side of your back's really tight, you might just move the knees a really little way one direction and a bit further the other direction. I'm going to go with what feels right for you. Still think about, as you breathe out, bring that belly button in towards your spine. Good. One more breath in there. And we're gently going to roll those knees back through to the centre. Good, well done. So then we're going to try and start activating through those core muscles. So often if our back's a bit sore, our core muscles tend to switch off, which doesn't help, because they're the ones that are meant to stabilise our lower back. So those big moving muscles in our back hold on for dear life, and often that's when we get those really tight muscles in that lower back. So I'm just going to get you to lift and lower on that marshmallow again, lifting up and away, pushing back down, squashing that marshmallow, lifting up and away. And I want you to come down, so you've squashed that marshmallow, maybe a bit more than halfway, so you're almost back onto the mat, if that feels kind of comfortable for you. If that's a bit not as comfortable, then just come down maybe halfway into that marshmallow. But if you're happy to, come down all the way, squash that marshmallow, keep your breastbone down in contact with the 2p coin underneath your spine, between your spine and the mat. And from here, we're going to try and keep that same pressure on that marshmallow all the time. To help you do that, I just want you to engage through your core muscles. So you're going to think about engaging your pelvic floor. So you're going to stop yourself from passing wind. So just a gentle kind of closing up at the back. And that should help to engage your core muscles and keep that back down in contact with that marshmallow. We're going to take a breath in. So we breathe out. We're just going to gently slide one leg away. It might you just go halfway and then slide back up again. Breathe out, slide the other leg away. Keep that marshmallow down. Breathe in, come back. If you feel you can go a little bit further, you can slide that leg away further. Breathing in to come back. Breathing out, sliding away. Breathing in to come back. So you can keep your foot in contact with the mat, and that will give you slightly less load through your lower back. If you feel like you're wanting to lift up off that marshmallow, then definitely don't go quite as far with your foot and keep that foot in contact with the mat. Breathing out to lengthen away. Breathing in to come back. So as you lengthen away, draw that belly button down towards your spine. Think about engaging through those core muscles as though you're going to stop yourself from passing wind. Breathing out to lengthen away. Breathing in, come back. Good. One more on either side. Good. Breathing out. Breathe in, come back. Good. You can relax off through those core muscles. Just gently arch away from the marshmallow and then squash back down onto it. So just trying to get a little bit of movement through that lower spine again. Arching and hollowing down. Good. And then from here we're going to come into an exercise called scissors, but we're going to start off really basic. And if you feel like you don't want to lift that foot off the floor because it feels like you're straining your back, you can just do a little heel lift. So we're going to aim to lift to tabletop, 90 degrees hip and knee. But if that feels too much, you can just do heel lift, keep the toe on the floor, lowering back down and then alternating. Okay, so from here we're going to make sure those shoulders are down, neck nice and long, come down onto that marshmallow. Engage through those core muscles by pulling up through the pelvic floor as though you're going to stop yourself from passing wind. And then from there, breath in. As we breathe out, you can either lift your heel, or if you're happy to, you can lift that leg to 90 degrees to tabletop. And then as you breathe out, you're going to lower that foot back down. Keep it nice and close to your bottom. That's it. And then breath in, lift up, breath out to lower. Good. Pause there, take a breath in. Breathe out, slow it down, pause there, breathe in, breathe out, lower down, pause, breathe in, breathe out, float the other leg, either just heel or whole leg to 90 degrees, pause to breathe in, breathe out to lower. You're keeping that pressure down on that marshmallow, down on that 2p coin. Breathe out to move, into pause, out to lower. Into pause, out to lift, into pause, out to lower. Nice and close to your bottom. Remember, if you're just doing heel lifts, breathing out to lift, into pause, out to lower. Into pause, out to lift the heel, out again to lower. Good. Let's do two more on either side, either that heel lift or that whole leg lift only. Pausing to breathe in, breathe out to move. Pause, breathe in, breathe out to move. Work at your breathing rate. So if you feel like you're holding your breath or breathing quickly, slow it down. Work with the speed of your breath. Last one. Pause, have a little break. Now if you want to, you can either, so bring feet together and knees together, you can either just do a very gentle knee roll left to right, again just going as far as you feel comfortable to go, or if you feel happier just doing a bit of a knee hug, you can do a knee hug, whichever one works best for you. So either a hug of your knee to your chest, or you can roll your knees, keeping the shoulders flat and just opening up through the back. And then you can either swap sides if you're doing knee rolls, or swap knees if you're doing knee hugs. more breath in where you are, and then gently either bring knees back to the centre or the feet back down onto the floor. So this time again, we're going to keep those feet really close to your bottom. So as close as your knees are bending, so your feet come nice and close to your bottom. And we're going to try and engage through the tummy muscles and switch off through the back muscles and do a little peel up of the spine off the mat. So you can watch my first one if you want to. And again with this, I want you to go with a level that you feel comfortable with. So if we're peeling up and some people are coming up all the way to the rib cage, that's fine. If some people are literally just doing almost like a squash the marshmallow and lift that coccyx sacrum, the tailbone, up off the mat and coming back down again. Again, I just work with what you feel your back can tolerate today. I don't want it feeling painful through the back at all. So what we're going to try and do is really engage through the tummy muscle. So before we start, we're going to just make sure your shoulders are down, you're nice and neutral on that marshmallow 2p coin. And then we're going to think about engaging through the core muscles. So breath in as you breathe out, so you're going to stop yourself from passing wind by engaging the core muscles. And you should feel that belly button might just pull in towards the spine gently as you do that. And then from there, breath in. So we breathe out, we're going to really squash that marshmallow, and you're going to think about shortening through the tummy muscles. So you're shortening rib cage to pelvis, working through those tummy muscles. You'll feel the coccyx sacrum start to peel up, and then you're going to just start to lift up just as far as you feel comfortable going. Really trying to think about each vertebrae lifting one at a time. So you're imagining like your spine is a string of pearls, each vertebrae one pearl on that string of pearls. We're going to peel up using those tummy muscles, squeeze through the bottom just as far as you feel comfortable going. Keep breathing. As you come down again, trying to use those tummy muscles to shorten and squeeze. Use those bottom muscles to lift that tailbone up until you start to then relax that spine back down onto the mat. So you're really going to try and get some opening up of the muscles through the back and the joints at the back, and really fire up through the tummy and the bottom. So have a go. Nice and neutral on the marshmallow, core engaged. We're going to squash the marshmallow by shortening through the tummy muscles, squeezing through the bottom muscles and peeling that spine up. Keep breathing. And then we're going to lower down from the top, wherever you're lifting, from the top of the spine down. Shorten through the tummy. Keep the tailbone lifted by squeezing through the bottom, and try and open up through the back as you come back down. And it might feel a bit stretchy, a bit pulley through the back. And I don't mind it feeling like that, but I don't want it to be painful. So if you're lifting too high and the back muscles go into kind of a spasmy feeling, we don't want that. In that case, just keep your back in contact and carry on doing some little arching and hollowing, but really trying to engage through the tummy and the bottom and try and switch off through the back. Okay? So keep going in your own time. Keep breathing as you feel kind of comfortable to. So I'm not going to breathe on any particular kind of movement. I'm just going to try and get you to get some movement through the back. So really firing up through the tummy. Imagine almost like the same muscles you'd use to do a sit-up, but we're keeping that upper body nice and still, and we're just moving through the pelvis and lower back as you peel up. Try and keep the hips as level as possible, often lowering down. We might feel a bit juddery, or like rather than one vertebrae at a time through the back, it's a bit of a block of movement. So I want you to try and work on, rather than that block of movement, actually that kind of shaky, juddery movement means that those back muscles are having to open up and let go a little bit. And they don't like it, but actually if you can get a little bit of movement and a bit of shaking, actually sometimes that just means that you're allowing those muscles to switch off. When if they've not been switched off for a while, they might find that hard to do, but it shouldn't be painful, just a bit stretchy really. Kind of pulling on those tight muscles in the back, but not painful. Just do 2 more in your own time. Have a break if you need a break. Good. Last one if you feel happy to. Good, well done. And relax off, good. Again, if you want to have a little hug, one knee at a time or both knees together. If you do both knees together, bring one knee up first, and then bring the other knee up to join it. Never bring both knees up at the same time, especially if you've got lower back pain, because it's not good. The loading through your back is really big. So just one knee coming up and then the other knee to lift it. If you're going to just do one leg at a time, lower that first knee down, bring the other knee up towards the chest, and just have a little hug of that second knee in. If you've got both knees and you fancy doing a couple of little circles of those knees over your chest, good. And then just hug one more time into chest. Lower one leg down. If you've got both legs up, then lower that second one down to join it. Good, well done. So carefully we're going to roll over onto our front and do some stretches for our back on all fours. So shuffle your bottom over, come onto your side. I'm going to gently come up and turn over onto all fours. So we're going to bring our knees under our hips, our hands underneath our shoulders. And from here, we're just going to look after our neck and shoulders. So bring your shoulders away from your ears, and I want you to push your breastbone up away from the mat gently. And we're going to make sure the neck's nice and long. So it's easy in this position to just allow your head to drop down, chin to chest. We're going to lengthen through the crown of the head, back of the neck. And from here, we're going to just have a little kind of just start to arch and hollow through that lower back. Like we were doing on our back with a marshmallow underneath us, we're going to say it's the same movement, just in a slightly different position. So we're going to allow the belly button to drop down towards the floor. And then we're going to lift that belly button up. And you're going to imagine you're a dog and you've got a tail and you're going to tuck it between your legs. And then we're going to lift that tail up, lower belly button towards the floor. Just starting to get that lower back moving. Good, keep breathing. Now, you can either stay with that, or if you're happy to, we can start to work in all the way up through the spine. So we're going to tuck that tailbone down, lift up through the belly button, lift up through the breastbone, tuck your chin down towards your chest so you've got a big curve through the spine. And then from there, we're going to lift that tail up, nice happy waggy tail, drop the belly button down, drop the breastbone down, gently look forward, keep those shoulders away from your ears as you look forward. And then we're going to go the other way, chin to chest. Lift up through the breastbone, lift up through the belly button. Imagine you've got a tail, tuck it between your legs. And then lifting the tail, lowering the belly button, lowering the breastbone. Looking forward, neck nice and long, shoulders down away from your ears. And again, chin to chest. Lifting through breastbone, belly button, and then imagine that tail tucking it between your legs. You should feel a nice opening stretch through the back. And then lifting that tailbone, lowering belly button, lowering breastbone, look forward, shoulders away from ears. We're going to do one more in either direction. And then back through, lifting the tailbone, lowering belly button, breastbone, look forward, shoulders away from ears. Good. And then lengthen through the spine. Okay, so from here, depending on how your back feels, you can either just take a sit back onto your heels and walk your fingertips away. Or if you want to try that, if that feels quite nice when you do that cat stretch, when you tuck that tailbone down, lift belly button, lift breastbone, we're going to lift up through that belly button, breastbone, keep that tail, imagine that tail tucked between your legs, and we're going to sit back, then you'll feel that open up through the lower back, maybe the mid back as well. That doesn't feel comfortable, you can just sit back without that tail tuck. We're going to try to lift that breastbone up away from your thighs, really opening through that lower back. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Good, one more breath in. As you breathe out, gently walk those fingertips forward and allow your chest and tummy to come down towards the thighs, and maybe your forehead towards the mat. But again, you know, it's relative for everyone. If you're in this position and that feels like that's where you want to go, that's absolutely fine. If you can bring forehead to mat, then great. and keep breathing. So as you breathe in, you'll feel your ribcage will expand, and then as you breathe out, I want you to try and just sink down towards the mat. Good, 2 more breaths in there. And then this next exercise is an optional one for you. See how it feels. If it doesn't feel right, then come in and just maybe have a lay on your back and do some of the breathing exercises or some of that gentle pelvic tilting where you're squashing and arching off the marshmallow. So, well, if you want to give this next one a go, we're going to come into like a puppy posture. So we're going to just gently lift your bottom up off of your heels and lift those sitting bones up high into the air. Our elbows underneath our shoulders, and from there you're going to just gently look forward. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears, so you might want to be kind of hunched up, but keep those shoulders down away from the ears. You're going to look forward, gently allow the breastbone to come down towards the mat. Now depending on how that feels, so we're arching kind of a little bit through this lower back. So you can just hold it there. If it doesn't feel right, you can come back into your child's pose, or again you can lay onto your back. If you feel like you want to work into that a little bit more, if it feels right for you, then just walk those elbows forward slightly. Lift those sitting bones up. Lower your breastbone down towards the mat a little bit more, and you'll feel that really opening up through your back. Again, you can go a little bit further if you feel you're happy to, but work at a level that feels right for your back. If it doesn't feel right for your back, just don't do it. Move on, that's fine. Either roll onto your back and have some nice, just kind of relaxed breaths, or do some gentle squashing and lifting off that marshmallow. If you're in this position, we're just going to hold it for 2 more breaths. And then we're gently going to come back up. I'm going to roll over, back onto our back, and just have a couple of minutes just doing some nice relaxed breathing back down on the mat. So don't mind whether you have your knees bent or your knees lengthened out nice, legs lengthened out nice and long, your choice. But in this position, I just want you to make sure that neck's nice and long, those shoulders are snuggled down, and we're just going to gently arch and hollow, and I want you to make sure that spine's nice and long. Come into a nice comfortable resting position with your spine on the mat. Maybe this time bring your hands onto your rib cage, so just a lower rib cage. Your fingertips just gently touch in the middle, kind of in the middle of your chest, top of the tummy. And you're breathing in, and I want you to feel your rib cage just opening up, so those fingertips just gently move apart as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, those fingertips coming back together. I want you to feel, so breathing in, opening up through the ribs. As you breathe out, those fingertips coming together, but also I want you to try and just relax your back down, heavy towards the mat. Breathing in, fingertips come apart. Breathing out, fingertips come together, back sinks heavy down into the mat. Good, another couple of nice big breaths there. So make this next breath a really big breath, so the biggest breath you've taken all day. Nice big breath in. Gently out. Sink that back down into the mat, fingertips come together, and then relax your breathing, so normal size breaths. Just gently feeling that rise and fall of the rib cage and sinking your back down into the mat, just allowing all those muscles in your back to relax off, switch off, take a break. And then you're more than welcome to stay there and just carry on doing that and allowing those back muscles to relax off a little bit more. When you do come to get up, or if you come to get up now, I just want you to think gently about engaging through those core muscles. So we've kind of tried to let the back muscles relax off, have a break. The only thing is with that is that then we need those core muscles to really be working to help stabilize through your back. So I want you, before you come up into sitting or standing, just to gently think about pulling up through the pelvic floor. So you're going to stop yourself from passing wind. You should just gently feel that that pulls your belly button in towards your spine gently. We're stabilizing through those deep core muscles, and then from there you can shuffle your bottom over, roll your knees to the side, and then push up to come up off of the mat. So remember that first thing in the morning as well. So you might feel a bit stiff first thing in the morning, but actually those core muscles will need a little bit of encouragement to work. So think about gently pulling up through the pelvic floor. So you're going to stop yourself from passing wind, just gently to engage through the core to stabilize your back before you start to move. And that may well help to start allowing those back muscles to relax off and just take a break. Good. Well done. I hope you enjoyed it and your back feels a little bit better for it. Revisit this as and when you need to, just to really loosen off through that lower back. Remember, if you're having any problems and your back's not easing and you feel like you're doing all the right things, then try and see a physio and see if they can just help you loosen off everything in that lower back. Good. Well done. Bye bye.